On to our game review. First, we're going to talk about Iron Man 2, the game.
From great to suck.
This game is published by Sega. They published the first game, and it's developed by Secret Level, whose studio was shut down before the game even came out. So that tells you right away this game is going to be awesome.
Well, it's a San Francisco company. They probably, wanted to hope. They probably took a lot of time off in between, got high a lot.
But this is the same people that did the Golden Axe Beast Rider game. This game is just abysmal.
It's the voice acting is not good.
I wasn't prepared to say that word. I practiced all the other shit, but not that.
The textures are poor. I mean, it has a few cool looking areas like the load screen.
And the main menu is really cool with Iron Man and War Machine standing there, fully rendered, looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Iron Man armor doesn't look that bad. And some of the bosses, like Ultimo, looks really cool. Crimson Dynamo isn't a boss in the game. It looks pretty cool. And some of the mech creatures look alright.
Now, what's neat about this is that it doesn't follow the movie. It follows the movie It follows after the movie.
Yeah, it takes place after the movie. Tony's already got his Mark IV armor with a triangular chest piece. Rhodey's War Machine.
Which Rhodey looks like semen.
Get your rocks off.
Oh!
Yeah, he looks like he came from Seaman for Dreamcast. Like, he is fucking the creepiest thing I have ever seen. His eyes are bugging out of his head.
Look fantastic, Nikki.
Frickin', they got Don Cheadle and they got Samuel Jackson to come in and do the voice acting. And they are just reading off a piece of paper. I mean, Samuel Jackson's not terrible. He's not as good as, like, his voice acting in, say, Afro Samurai or whatever.
What the hell is that supposed to be?
But, like, he's not terrible, but it's not good either. But Don Cheadle, like, it's like he's reading for the very first time the lines, they recorded it, and then they put it directly into game. Like, he didn't even do multiple takes. That's what it sounds like.
It's bad. The rendering's bad, the voice acting's bad, the gameplay is stiff.
The guy that does Tony's voice...
Sounds just like Tony.
He sounds actually like Robert Downey Jr., and he's probably the best voice actor in the entire game, and I have no idea who he is.
No worries, we'll just hitch a ride the rest of the way.
But he does an okay job.
Yeah, he sounds just like Robert Downey Jr., and it's surprising how close it is.
I mean, they fixed a lot of problems the first game had, like the flying mechanics are a lot better.
They're still retarded.
They're still bad, but they're a lot better. And you fight a fucking armiger little crab thing literally like 10 times throughout the 8 levels of this game.
You know,
you fight him twice in one level.
This is one thing that annoys me is when video games have these tanks that are in crab legs. It's like, really, crab legs would be more efficient than what we have now. Seriously, crab legs? It was like, at what point does, hey, let's take a tank and put crab leg on it because that would be more efficient.
It's about as stupid as the AT-ATs and AT-STs in fucking Star Wars. Like, they're the dumbest design ever.
I think we're doomed.
Nah, unless they got any big giant robot camels, I think we're okay.
Ah, Jim. Robot camels.
But Iron Man itself, it's about a 3.5 to 4 hour game. There's 8 levels. There's a cool upgrade system. Like, you can upgrade your modules for your weapons, and you can upgrade your weapons themselves. You can unlock different armor types, like the original armor, the Ultimate's armor, classic armor, like lots of different armors. But overall, like, it's terrible.
Yes. Don't bother. Don't even bother renting this game.
Yeah,
just
pass it
over. And move on.
Now, I do have to say, if you are an achievement whore, the achievements are really easy.
Mm.
I mean,
but if you love Iron Man, wait for Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah.
This present sucks.
Alright, next we want to talk about Dead to Rights. I think a lot of people went a little too harsh on this game. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's a definite rental.
I want to clarify that. Where you say, yes, it's not a bad game, but it's a definite rental. Yes, it's a definite rental because there's really no replay value outside of, you played through the campaign once and you've been through it, but there's no multiplayer, there's no co-op or anything. And for $60 for an 8 to 10 hour game with absolutely no replay, yeah, I would say it's a rental. But it's a solid game.
Yes. I mean, people were talking about, oh, the storyline's so bad, the dialogue. It's like an 80s action movie.
Mm-hmm.
I got no problem with that. 80s action movies were bad, and I loved them. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a lot like Just Cause 2. Like, yes, the story is really bad because it's like an 80s action movie, but that's why it's awesome.
Feel free to point it at a bad guy if you ever end up facing one.
Yes, I got no problem with this game, and I found it fun. And the dog is cool.
Yeah, when the levels you do play as the dog, like when you go, you play them more like a stealth. They're very stealthy, and a lot of people are comparing. Oh, when you go into stealth mode, it's a lot like the Predator vision that Batman has or whatever. Yes, because Batman's the first game ever, or the first thing ever to do sort of see-through where the characters kind of glow a little bit. Yeah, they're the first game to ever do it, so this game's copying Batman. Shut the fuck up.
Fucking comparison.
I hate when people compare things to other things. Just let it be what it is. I mean, it's a stealth level. It plays like a stealth game, yes.
It's retarded. It's a fun game. Rent it, or wait for it to drop down in price at like GameStop and pick it up. It's worth having just for the fun value of it.
Yes, it's a decent pickup when it drops down to say $40 or so. I mean, it's actually pretty fun to play through. The only problems I had really were his arms are really big.
I don't think his arms were that big, honestly.
Yeah, they are.
I think they're no bigger than Chris in Resident Evil 5.
And his arms are way too big too. Like he's a steroid muscled freak. And also I didn't like he has a problem with the main antagonists in the game. They're trying to pretty much be like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a judge, jury, executioner.
They were judge, jury, and executioner, all wrapped up in one nasty package.
They are trying to be that, and he has a problem with them going out doing that, but yet that's what he does. So that part of the story makes absolutely no sense.
Kind of hypocritical.
A little bit.
Alright, well that makes you a fucking hypocriticizer too. So shut the fuck up.
But it's fun shooting mechanics. The brawling mechanics could have used a lock-on system.
Yeah. Besides that,
I thought it was a fun game. I mean, right now its Metacritic is about a 6.2. A lot of people are bashing it, and they're like, oh, this is the worst game ever. You know, I played a worse game this year, and it was called Heavy Rain. Because it wasn't a game.
Heavy Rain was horrible. And just not to mention, we just talked about a worse game.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2, yeah. It's a hell of a lot worse than fucking Dead to Rights.
Yes.
Worst episode ever.
Well, that's going to do it for our Monday media review. Don't forget to check out our website where you can see all of our videos archived at tuxedocast.com. You can also check us out at mediaslayerproductions.com if Arthur ever gets that site up again. He's doing maintenance and changing it around. Mm-hmm. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/tuxedocats. And you can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/tuxedocats as well. We're two guys on a couch. I'm Joe.
And I am George.
We'll see you next time here on the couch.
Well, did I do good?
It tastes awful.
Jerk.